Hey, what up everybody? If you want to get insanely rich by the end of 2025, stick around because this is going to be the first part of our series on how to get started in marketing. Marketing and sales are extremely vital for every single business out there. I'm not going to sit here and tell you why you shouldn't market. I'm going to tell you why you should. A lot of people struggle with it. They don't have the money to invest in marketing, but this entire series is going to be for you. We're going to walk you through step by step on how you can build your entire marketing department from scratch with zero ad spend. So stick around because my name's Steven with Business Growth Engine. We help veterans and small business owners all across the country automate, market, and scale their very own system. So let's dive into it. This is the first one of the series, labeled exactly how it should be, how to get started in marketing. Your business is extremely vital. Most of the time when people start their business, they don't realize that there's a lot of other things that go into play with it. So for instance, if you're starting a construction company, you know that you can build decks, you know that you can build this type of stuff, but the problem that you run into is you don't realize that also you have to run the back end of your business as well. You have to create those invoices, you have to create those payments, you have to do all the books, you have to market yourself so you can get new clients in on top of that, and it feels like you're juggling hundreds upon hundreds of different hats. Well, the cool thing is you're not alone because that's every single business, guys. If you're not able to do the marketing, you're going to be left behind and your business is going to suffer. So we're going to dive into it. And then we're going to start this off as if you don't know anything about marketing and you're diving into it for the first time. The very first thing you do to get into marketing, find a niche. What I mean by that is there's hundreds of different niches out there, guys. What is the one target that you are focusing on in your business? So let's go back to the construction side. If you are a construction, are you focusing on remodeling? Are you focusing on deck building? Are you focusing on roofing? What is it that you're actually focusing on? That's what you want to find. Because once you narrow that down, then you can explore the other options. Because if you're like most people, when they start marketing, they just post things on social media. They don't know exactly what they're posting, but the big thing that they do realize is that they're putting their name out there. And that's a good start. But the issue is that they don't know who they're talking to. Now, most of the time, if you're in the construction industry or any other industry, you start a business, you're kind of already segregated into your niche, right? So talk to those people. Talk to everybody that you're trying to serve. Now, we're not saying going out there talking to them saying, hey, you want to buy our shit? You want to buy this? You want to do that? Stop doing that. What we're going to do is we're going to dive into this in the next couple of videos, but we're going to talk about how you can apply effective marketing to your business so you can continue to scale. Now, like I said, the first part is finding a niche. Is it deck builders? Now, if you get into like deck builders, remodeling, roofing, all of that, what type of homes are you focusing on? You can subject into a smaller niche in order to provide a better value. What I mean by that is diving deep into it and figuring out, okay, I have roofing as my top layer, I have deck building as my top layer, remodeling as my top layer, but is it remodeling 2 to 5 year old houses? Is it remodeling 10 to 15 year old houses? Because each one has different problems, right? So you want to figure out what that is, and that's how you're going to find that niche. And that's going to lead you into step 2, which is finding a problem. What is the main problem that everybody in that niche is having? Is it that their decks are falling apart? Is it that their remodeling company that they used to have just sucks and they don't have the right person in place? You want to spend the time to find that problem. So go ahead and write down what that problem is, because when you find that problem, everything else in marketing becomes so much easier. And like I said, in the next video, we're going to show you how you can craft your message in order to provide that content so you can speak directly to those pain points. Then, once you have the problem, you want to find a solution. Now, the solution is exactly what you're selling, right? Most of the time, if you're selling a service-based industry, the construction, roofing, all of that stuff, if you're in the insurance, you're selling life insurance, policies, all of that type of stuff, you already have the solution in hand. You just don't know how to get it out there. You don't know how to critique it to match that problem that you're trying to solve. So you have the problem, you have the solution. Now what you need to do is you need to talk to that niche. And what I mean by that is not going directly out there saying, hey, I can fix your deck. You need to identify that problem. And you need to talk to them about that problem, because They don't care about everything else. They don't care how many awards you won. They don't care about how long you've been in business. Ultimately, 9 times out of 10, most customers do not give a shit about you or your business. What they care most about is how you're going to fix their problem. So fix their problem. Talk about their problem. Don't talk about all this cool material you're going to use right away. You could save that stuff for later when you're trying to upsell them, or after you've already sold them and they're picking out the materials. That's how you become, the expert in it. You're walking them through it. You're showing them all of that. They really don't care about that stuff. Now, I'm not saying everybody doesn't, because there are some people that actually do. But guys, I'm telling you, if you can talk more about the problems they're facing and not so much about the solution that you're offering just yet, with all of the extra benefits, you're going to start speaking their language. Go into those local Facebook groups. Go to the actual people. Talk to them in person. If you're focusing on their deck falling apart, start highlighting all the pain points they have when that deck falls apart. They won't be able to use it. It's a safety hazard. All of that stuff. You're going to start uncovering what it is that they're worried about, and then you craft your solution to match that. It could be the same solution all across the board, but you're crafting that solution to that problem. You guys get it? Awesome. So, what I mean by that is that you want to talk specifically to that niche. Don't talk to every single person in your area. Just because you're a deck builder, roofing company, remodeling, insurance, whatever it is, that doesn't mean anything. You don't talk to every single person. You want to talk directly to the person that you're trying to fix. So, you want to dive deep into that. You want to understand who it is. Paint that picture, create that avatar, and we'll dive into that in one video as well. But you want to paint that picture as to what it is that your business is trying to solve. Once you figure that out, your business is going to become that much more profitable, and you're going to be able to talk directly to them. Your sales reps are going to know exactly what to say. You're going to be able to close more deals. Think about it this way. If your average deck is $30,000, right? And you close 1 a month. That's 30 grand. That's amazing. That's before, overhead, all of that stuff, right? Now, and you're at a 10% close. Let's say that you go through all of this, you find the solution, you pick the niche, you start talking to the pain points, and you start seeing that your closing rate goes from 10%, which is really, really low, to 20%. That means that you've doubled the sales just by making your message tighter. So now, instead of selling 1 a month, you're selling 2 a month. And that's $60,000. Guys, that's almost all the way to $1 million a year. You just need to sell 1 more deck a month to hit $1 million a year. I'm telling you guys, this is super, super easy. If you find the solution after you find the problem and you talk directly to that niche. If you're able to do that, you're going to sell. You're going to see your closing rate skyrocket. You want your closing rate anywhere between 20 to 30%. If you have it at 30%, let's just do that hypothetically. So if you're closing 3 $30,000 decks a month, you're looking at $90,000. That's $90,000 before all your expenses, which I get it. Decks and home service, construction, all of that, there's a lot of overhead. But $90,000 a month from 3 decks. Do you know how much $1 million a year is? $1 million a year is $88,000 a month. You're already exceeding that. And that's just by tightening your message before you get into full-on marketing. So do you guys see how marketing can play a vital role in your business? Yes, we're talking more about the sales aspect right now, but marketing and sales go hand in hand. You have to talk to them before you can sell them. And by talking to them, you're going to find that niche. You want to find that problem. Find the solution and talk directly to them, so this way you can make that sale. So go out there, make that happen, put it in the comments below of what your closing rate is, and I will personally comment on there and show you guys how you guys can increase it. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. We're going to take a deep dive into it as well, and I'll talk to you guys later.